Okay, before I get into it, the reason why I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this movie, White Man Can't Jump. I want to say this that I'm not a pretender. I'm not one of these people that try to act like I know everything because I don't. I ain't even close, right? I know this. I wouldn't exactly label myself a Socrates, but I know that we don't know a lot of things that people pretend to know, as if like they seen some type of godly being that was described to them by someone else. That's like one of the most what's the word, like it might be ridiculous things that I've ever heard. It's like if you was never if you it's like coming up with a song that you heard before and you saying it's original because I made it and I haven't heard that song in 20, 30 years. Like you still heard the song. You know what I mean? Like you know. Anyway, with that in mind, so some parents claim they love their children so much, and we know this is not a fact because of the things they do. Now, part of this is done to stupidity, ignorance, especially on my part as a father. I know I've done some things out of ignorance, but not lack of love, because I've also know I've done plenty of things strictly out of love for my children. So I'm not trying to take anything away from other parents, but I'm just saying there is a line. There is a line. So this particular example of how some parents go all out for themselves, and if you met them without their children, you'd think they were single. About how much they would spend on themselves and trying to look the part of, I don't know, a movie star. I don't know what it is, but you would think didn't have children, and then you find out that you have children. My only question: how did you afford to do this if you have so many children? Like I don't like and then you found out these these parents don't even have, mostly women. That's just a fact, don't even have that type of income coming. They don't know how to make that type of income. They're getting it from somebody who makes that type of income, which I don't know if that like they don't even value, like I guess it's like a somewhere honor, integrity, it somewhere it gets weak. It's unbalanced because it doesn't make sense. It's like, wait a minute, you're getting money that's supposed to go to them and their well being, but you're using the money for your well being first and foremost, or what you think is your well being, not your well being, what you think is your well being. Like these are things you really don't need anyway. But society has convinced this individual somehow that they need them. Now, I'm trying to talk in general, but it's kind of specific people in the specific groups that are more heavily leaning that way. That all brought about the reason I thought of this movie, White Men Can't Jump, and it was you learn through movies. I keep saying this. I'm gonna keep you learn through movies just like you, because this ain't nothing. Movie ain't nothing but a picture story, right? And we've been learning through stories from the beginning of time as of existence. This is why the Bible is so popular. This is why the Quran is so popular. These are why all these books are so popular. Book of Eli, all these books or versions of they so popular because people learn through stories. Now, some people take it a little further than others by believing the stories to be true when it's, the evidence is there a lot of times that no, the story is not true to the word. It might have some truth in it, of course, but not, verbatim. Not down to the exact. So this was one of the first realizations of me checking myself in my life, and I hope it helps other people. I seen a movie called the movie called White Men Can't Jump. And this mind you, you're adults around you, like it takes a village to raise a child. So the village in their way was thinking they was teaching me this too. I can remember some kind of spotty remember some references, but this is when I got it, right? I watched a white man cage jump. And it was this one part where they was going back and forth. Wesley Snipes played this guy, I forget his name, and Woody Harrelson played he was the supposed so-called black man, and then the so-called white man, which I call darker skin and lighter skin. So the darker skin, they going back and forth, playing the dozens, as some people call it, busting on each other, as we call it. Um, some people call it cracking on each other. Um, but they busting on each other like, yo, you, if you wouldn't be such of a gambler and be losing out on your whatever. Now you have to go back for the exact word. I'm just vaguely like, this is not, like I said, this is not verbatim. I can't remember exact words they said, but basically what he said is while they're going back and forth, he's telling him his issues, and then Woody did one of the most clever things you could ever do is ask a question instead of attacking them. He just and maybe um Wesley Snipes asked him a question too, but I just can't remember that part. But I remember this question, and he said, "Oh yeah, I think his name was Sidney. Matter of fact, in the movie, he said, well, "Oh yeah, yeah. Well, how many how many dinners did that gold chain set your family back?" You know, now that might not sound like it was real impactful, but to a young man who buying stupid things with his money at this time, who getting money kind of fast at this time, was like, whoa, reality check. Like I got a little brother that I could be helping out. I could, I don't even have a house, my own place at this time, but I got Jordans on my feet, Jordan suit. I got a auntie I could be helping her. That was the reality check for me. I was like, it just bam, like I'm like, oh man, that's what people trying to tell me. They never said it where I could get it like that moment in that movie. Cause then I got it. It just clicked. Sometimes you don't know where it's gonna come from. And you need to hear that part of the story that clicks. And this was the time for me. Maybe it was time for a lot of other people my age. I don't know, but that clicked. And don't get me wrong, it was still a roller coaster in life because peer pressure, propaganda, um, guerrilla warfare, all that is playing on your psychology. These mind games is like minefields. So you on that roller coaster, even though you trying to get off. You just don't want to jump off when you're at the top and fall all the way to the bottom. So you try to ride it till you get to the low and then jump off. Whatever type of deals. So yeah, that one little. That's why I never forget this movie because of that one little line right there. I mean, there was some other good parts in the movie, but I'm saying that was the best part of the whole movie for me. And I know it's weird because I come with these little bitty parts of a movie, and we're like, "That's what you remember? Like that's the best." And I'm like, "Yes, this. If it wasn't for this one little piece, I probably wouldn't remember this movie like I remember it." But how many? Because it just took me back. He said, "How many did that set your family? Because he was supposed to be out here doing it for his family. But you like, oh yeah, you out there showboating and looking all good, you know, like, but you got a gold chain around your neck. Like, why you need that? You know, you don't need it, do you? But you got it. You paid for it. You could have put that to the rent. You could have put that to an investment. You could have put that to a retirement. You know, some child fund or whatever. You could have did something else with that money type deal. You know, and mind you, gold was way cheaper back then too. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was way cheaper, but it was the impact of that. If I knew more at that moment, I would have started investing. I didn't know how to invest at that time. But if I had knew how to invest at that time, I could have invested my gold chain money too. You get what I mean? Like he could have, you know, as this character in the movie. Like it wasn't that he wouldn't invest if he'd known how. You know, that's a big part of what society misses when they try to judge another group or another clan or another, you know, other people. They think they know these things, but it's not. They don't. It's not as apparent as it might be to someone who is taught, you know, or seen their parents doing investing all their life, or had parents to teach them about investing, or while they learn investing. You get what I mean? Like it's just totally different thing. Like right now, with compound interest, you know, it's compound interest, and yeah, half the people, maybe more than half the people heard of it, but do they believe it? Like, do they believe it? Like, yeah, I'm gonna live long enough to see that compound interest, or we gonna be secure in our home where we'll see that compound interest? See, they don't see people that don't live the lifestyles that might be taken at any moment. They don't think like that. They don't think they might be going to jail for something they didn't even do. They don't think they might Fruitvale Station. That's another movie. They don't think they might end up like Fruitvale Station, which I almost did. Right? I was right there. You know, it could have ended up the same way. You know, got pulled off for something I ain't even do. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I'm coming home from work. Right? It could have ended up like that. So the psychology is different. You know what I mean? So it's just I'm just saying I'm not quick to judge, and I'm thankful that we have these stories to that still come out that still make some type of sense. That's why I almost cringe when I go if I watch a movie and I don't learn anything from it. It's just like I feel like I need to take a bath or a shower or something. I like, what? It's just dirty and they just want to fight and destroy it. It's like, but what is the lesson to what is the point of the movie? Like, what did we learn from this movie? You know what I mean? And it might be good action, but it's no, if it doesn't have any, it'll blow my brain. I just don't want to. Don't even let me know who was involved with it because I don't want nothing. If I ever see that name again, I don't want, like no. Well, then again, I'm open minded. I shouldn't say that because if I feel they involved or I see something then that made me think they involved, it would be different. But anyway, the point was, I'm gonna reiterate this point. It was it was the knowing that if you go out here and buy something expensive and you don't even have the things that you said you want to have before you went and bought that expensive thing, that's a great time to check yourself. Even if you, but no, the great time to check yourself is before you buy this expensive thing. That's why you want to ask yourself the W's. Man, do I really need this? Why do I need this? What do I need this for? Who am I trying to impress by this? When am I even going to use or wear this? You know what I mean? Break out the W's on every time. Even if you just go into the store, some things can wait to the next day. Some things can wait to the next week. Some things you might not even need to another season. So it's absolutely no rush in getting these things, or unless you're going to save a lot of money on it and you can afford to do something. Yeah, it makes sense. Say like the winter is about to end, and they got these sweaters that you wanted or jackets that you've been wanting for a long time, like half price or less. If you can see it in your budget, you could save you some money for next year if you can securely store this jacket or whatever. That makes sense. That makes so much sense. You're delaying gratification. And you're saving yourself money, which means you're making money. Anytime you save yourself money, you're making money. Everybody should think like that. I believe, because it's if you're saving it, you're making it. Because if you didn't save it, you would have made it and then spent it on that. You get what I mean? So if you reverse that, you're actually saving money. So yeah, that's my lesson for it. That's my piece on it. Anything you want to add or any questions? All right, love, peace, and healthy feast. Of choice, of course.